back to Two for Classics, a classic movie review podcast. My name is Sam.
And my name is Liana.
And this week, we watched Wuthering Heights from 1939.
That's right. Wuthering Heights. From April 7th, 1939. It was released in the U.S. And the director was William Wyler. This director was actually nominated for a lot of his movies throughout his lifetime. I think he had over 10 nominations for the Academy Awards.
Oh, that's actually a lot.
Yes. He won 3 different times for 3 different movies. For this particular one, they won for cinematography.
Oh, okay.
And the cast, we're moving on to the cast, we have our great actor, Laurence Olivier, which plays Heathcliff. And he did another movie called Rebecca. And that was another sort of like a drama, romantic.
Drama.
Yeah. And we have the love interest here, which is Merle Oberon. And she was in another movie called The Black Angel. Very nice, too. This movie is an adaptation from a 1947 novel by the same title.
1947?
Sorry.
It came after the movie?
Sorry.
Oh
1840.
They knew the future.
They knew the future. You don't have to. This is fun. Anyway, Stop. You're making me laugh.
I'm assuming you mean 1847.
Yes, it's 1847. This novel was... You throw him off. You really throw him
That's
off.
my job. That's my one job.
This novel was written by Emily Bronte.
One of the Bronte sisters.
One of the Bronte sisters. This was her only novel, by the way. And then she died like a year after she published it.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So,
a sad book and a sad life? Jeez.
The book, the story was sad, but I think the
author wasn't?
No, I think the actual novel was great. It's a great novel. It really is. The story was sad, but then that means that, it really had its effect on people. And that's probably what she wanted. She wanted people to, feel all these kinds of emotions. And sad was one of them.
I guess. But we talked about this earlier when we were watching the movie. That this first adaptation, doesn't go through the whole novel.
No. This novel the novel which this movie was adapted from has 34 chapters. But the movie only gets up to the 16th. I think that's where it stops.
16th?
The 16th chapter.
So it's only about halfway through.
This specific adaptation, I'm sure there's other movies that have...
There's several.
That have done the whole novel. They take it up down to the last chapter. So
we were talking about this earlier where you were saying about it's only about half the novel. Mm-hmm. But as a person who I have not had the chance to read Wuthering Heights, I have only seen this version. I went into this movie completely blind. So I didn't feel as if I was missing out on story. It was directed and filmed in a way where from start to finish, you get a full and complete story. There's not plot holes. There's not anything. It's satisfying in a way. So I think that's really good.
Yes. But for those of us who have seen the other movies or different adaptations of movies,
it's only half the book.
Yes, but the thing is that you were right. This movie really pretty much hits the main points.
Does it?
Yes, it really does. So I've seen the other ones. And I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just, to me, this is the best one.
Okay.
As far as across the board, I think it was the script was great. The actors.
The acting was good.
And the director. I mean, he's got all these accolades, but and we clearly see why.
It was very well put together.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about
what the movie's about.
So
this is as part 1. We'll give you a non-spoiler version of the summary here. A stranger caught in a snowstorm and looking for a shelter happens upon the estate of Wuthering Heights. Run down and clearly not welcoming to visitors, the stranger has no choice but to stay the night. After a rude awakening, and possibly hearing and feeling an apparition, one of the old servants, Nellie, offers him an explanation in the form of a tragic tale of 2 souls. Catherine Earnshaw and her brother Hindley await their father to return from Liverpool in their home, Wuthering Heights. When he does arrive, it's with a dirt-covered young boy who was an orphan he picked up off the streets. He names him Heathcliff. Mr. Earnshaw then proceeds to raise the child as a second son, though clearly favoring him. Heathcliff and Cathy grow up together, while her older brother grows resentful, and upon the death of Mr. Earnshaw, Hindley demotes Heathcliff to a servant, and thus lays the foundation of his resentment and feeds into Cathy's rebelliousness. So, right off the bat, I want to say Nellie, chismosa. Okay, she's
Which
a gossip.
Means
she's a gossip.
She's a gossip. But in her mind, she's doing Mr. Lockwood, which the stranger...
Mr. Lockwood he's not exceedingly important, so I just named him the stranger there.
Yeah. So, Nellie is narrating the story here.
It's supposed to be her narration to Mr. Lockwood.
Because she has been there day one.
Yeah.
She was there when Mr. Earnshaw brought Heathcliff home, and introduced him to the family.
Yeah.
The first about 20 minutes of the movie, it's focused on when the characters were children. So the first 5 minutes is about the Lockwood showing up, and he's being put into this decrepit old room, full of dust and with a broken window in the middle of a snowstorm. He shoves like a coat, his coat into the hole. And the bed looks like a weird, like on the corner, like a bunk bed.
It's like built into the wall. It's really odd looking. But I think it's just the time.
That didn't look too comfortable.
Well, I mean, it's like Cathy's old room or whatever, I think.
So maybe when she was a child?
No, it is, because even earlier in the movie, you see her there when she's getting ready. But yeah, so he wakes up and he proceeds to try to close this shutter that's banging up. This house is run down. Shutters are not hinged correctly, so the snowstorm is banging a shutter against the wall. Mm-hmm. He takes out his jacket and sticks his hand through this broken window. First of all, don't do that. You're going to cut your hand, okay? And he thinks he hears a ghostly voice out in the snowstorm, and then thinks someone grabs him.
Well, because he puts his hand through the...
Yeah, because his hand's outside the window.
And he feels like somebody touched him.
Yeah. On the second story, by the way. He's not on the ground floor.
Yeah. So he kind of makes a big deal about it, screams.
And Heathcliff, who is...
downstairs.
Who is...
with the other servants and his wife, Elizabeth.
Yeah, so Heathcliff runs in, and then... because the Lockwood tells him about the ghost, right?
That he thinks he saw.
He runs out into the snowstorm. And you're kind of thinking, who is this rude and now crazy guy that's doing all this, right? So Nellie says, let me sit down by this fire so I can tell you the story.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So that's when the whole thing starts.
So the whole thing starts from there. And then the kids, the rest of the 15 minutes of that first 20 minutes is them as children.
You made a good point.
That she's a gossip?
That's the first good point. The second good point is when we finished watching the movie, you said something about when Mr. Earnshaw brings Heathcliff, introduces him to the family, and pretty much assumes that everybody's just going to be happy together, and this boy is going to be accepted as part of the family.
He makes that decision.
Yeah. And so he starts to treat him as his own son and favors him, it seems like. So, I mean, I can see where
Hindley is resentful.
His older son, Hindley, is resentful and just feels that, wait a minute.
And he treats him meanly.
But I see why.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's okay to behave like that. I'm just saying from that point of view, yeah, I mean, your dad just brought some stranger and now he's supposed to be your brother and he's treated with, he's favored.
Never says he's your sibling, but he does pretty much treat him as a son.
Yeah, so I can see why. So, like I said, I'm not saying it's okay behavior, but yeah, I can see why.
Mr. Earnshaw, it does kind of lay the first foundations of the very resentful soul that Heathcliff will carry through this movie.
No, Henley too.
And Henley.
Like they're both.
Yeah.
He almost pins them against one another.
In a way, I don't think that was his intention, but his decisions caused this. Yes.
The opposite with Catherine, which we call Kathy.
Catherine was, I think, already a wild spirit, but with Heathcliff there, it allowed her to have like a partner in crime. So she was outside more because now she had a play friend.
The thing is that they were supposed. I assume Mr. Earnshaw, in bringing Heathcliff in and want him to blend in with the other kids, he just assumed that it was going to be like, they're all going to be together as siblings. But no, they begin to develop romantic.
When they're kids, they're just really good friends. I think they're very familiar with each other, kind of establishing a base of maybe a future relationship. Yes, but it's not at that point. They're just really, how would you put that? Familiar, emotionally attached.
But they're not. But I don't think that they see each other as brother and sister. Like, no, they're preteens. They're preteens, right?
They're not even preteens.
Yeah, what?
When they're children,
no.
Kathy,
did we see the same movie?
No. Kathy's about 12-ish.
That's a preteen, isn't it? Yeah, I would say. Yeah, they were not 9. They looked to me like 13.
Well, Heathcliff looked young.
Okay, well, so they develop a friendship, and then I think they start to sort of develop other types of emotions, more towards the romantic attachment.
Yes.
Not so much sibling.
But as kids, I think they are each other's best friends.
Yes.
And she defends him against the older brother.
Yeah.
I do want to say something. Being a movie from that time period in 39, I made the comment that, you know how in modern movies, let's say a child has to do some kind of a stunt where they're on a horse or something that any movie production would say if the child gets hurt, this is a lawsuit kind of situation. These kids actually had to ride those horses. And
yeah, there was no stuntman.
I was looking at that. I actually rewinded it because I said, wait a minute, is that actually the actor? Are those the actors that are on those horses? And it is. And they're jumping over little fences.
And rocks.
And at one point, Heathcliff, the child version of Heathcliff, is on the horse. And the horse kind of goes up a little bit of an incline. And then he falls off the horse. That's not an extra. That's the actor. So it was just so surprising.
Yeah. So let's move on to explaining the story to our listeners as far as...
I thought we did a good job. Nellie's over here telling
So Nellie tells the first part of it where what happens in the beginning, Heathcliff gets home, starts to develop...
You see the friendship between...
him and Kathy.
And then... very quickly after Mr. Earnshaw dies.
Then Mr. Earnshaw dies.
Off screen. You don't even see him. Because the one scene that you see Heathcliff and Kathy kind of growing up together with them playing, and then Hindley throwing the brick at him, right?
But because it just shows that Hindley and Heathcliff really go at each other all the time. Yeah. They hate each other.
But that's all one scene. Yeah, but he makes the comment that Mr. Earnshaw's already sick.
So Nellie is narrating the story to Lockwood, and she pretty much said, look, Hindley and Heathcliff just grew up hating each other. They just hated each other.
Yeah.
And Kathy and Heathcliff develop a friendship which leads into a romantic, they fall in love pretty much.
We're going to have to get into in episode 2 about what kind of love that is.
Okay, we'll get into that. But they develop a friendship, then turns into love, which what they call. Yeah. So then Mr. Earnshaw dies.
And
Hindley, the older brother, is now the master of the owner of everything, pretty much. And he tells Heathcliff, you no longer will be part of our family. You are now a servant.
Yeah, and it kind of ends.
And will be treated as so.
It ends there, and then afterwards, now we get into them being older. And this is when the older actors, now the main...
Step in.
Mm-hmm. Olivier and Oberon.
Yeah.
Right.
Olivier... He's such a handsome...
He looks odd at some angles. I think it's the hair, the way they do his hair sometimes. It looks a little weird.
You know, in real life, he was married to the actress from Gone with the Wind.
Oh, the main actress. Mm-hmm. I don't remember her name at the moment. But I remember seeing that film.
Yeah, they were married for the longest time. And I think she didn't act much after that, but yeah, they were. I think they made a really, really good couple.
I'm attempting to find the name of that person. Vivian Leigh.
Vivian Leigh.
Leigh.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. You don't have any questions for us? No.
But what did you think of the movie? How did it move for you? What was it? Did it seem like it was dragging on, or do you like, oh my God, that's over already? I was enjoying myself.
What was the runtime again? An hour and...
An hour and 45 minutes or so.
An hour and 45. Mm-hmm. Okay. It didn't drag. It wasn't a movie that dragged. My concern was that, and you and I think I said it several times during it, these characters frustrated me because they made decisions that I myself was thinking, why are you doing this? You almost want to reach through and shake someone and say, why are you doing this?
But then you enjoy yourself, even if these characters
I was entertained all the way through.
Okay. So it didn't seem like a long movie that went on forever.
It did not drag. Everything did seem, it was actually a little bit, the pacing was good, but it seemed a little like they were trying to get through the story because there was a lot.
You know, I was just thinking that.
There was a lot.
It moved too fast for me. Like, I remember glancing over at one point and I said, wait a minute, we only have 20 minutes to go before the movie's over, and some things have not been addressed, you know? So it's almost like I wish the movie had been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because, you know, more things would have been addressed.
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking from the novel, but this is their adaptation. This is the way they did it.
It did have a full story, like I mentioned earlier. So you won't be disappointed in that. But yes, there were a couple moments where you thought that some scenes, I think,
needed a little bit more.
Felt short.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it was perfect time.
1:45.
Yeah. Perfect time. And it moves fast and the story moves fast, but not too fast that you don't enjoy it.
We made a comment about how this is not a feel-good movie. If you want to sit down, have a little snack, watch a movie and kind of like, oh yeah, have a good laugh. This is not it. This is not the movie for that moment. This is a movie that you walk away wanting to talk to someone.
Yes. We were talking about how I myself, in my opinion, this is not a family movie. I mean, children.
What does that mean?
children.
It has a modern, because back then they didn't rate them, but it has a modern day PG rating on it.
I wouldn't watch this movie with children, and only because there's no violence and
there's
gory
no violence
or language.
There's nothing that would give it something over
sexual scenes.
Yeah.
It's more of the emotions.
They're very complicated themes.
Yes. There's a lot of resentment dealt with, a lot of anger.
Jealousy.
So that kind of stuff that the characters are sort of dealing with.
Yep.
And that's what I meant by that. I
agree, but I would say I would not put a child to watch this because that child is going to get bored real quick. As an adult, we are able to say, oh my goodness, I know that this happened to you 20 years ago, but let it go kind of situation.
Yeah.
Right?
I think all adults will enjoy it.
It is. I think it would be a good one to watch. It's not my favorite. It is.
I would say watch it. It's enjoyable in the sense that it deals with so much.
If you do like a
human emotion, and I do. See, that's where I think you and I learn.
Yes, yeah. This is not my bread and butter, so to speak.
I mean, life is sometimes like that, right?
That there's no fairy tale endings.
No.
Yeah.
And by we're not saying this is not gonna be a fairy tale ending. We're just saying that.
I'm saying it.
that in life we deal with these things, with jealousy and resentment and anger and unforgiveness and things like that, and so it's okay.
I think it's a cautionary tale. I would tentatively say that is a cautionary tale of what maybe you shouldn't do.
I was entertained.
I wasn't.
It's fine. If you're looking for a feel-good movie comedy, this isn't
it.
But watch it anyway. I know you're going to like it.
And come back to listen to us talk about older Heathcliff and Catherine, because my goodness.
It's going to get good.
Do we have comments on this movie?
And do we have comments?
We're trying to dance around them. If you haven't picked that up, we are attempting to dance around those comments.
Yes. And we got into it very extensive.
Very. We had a 2-hour disagreement about something.
And that's what's really good.
So we'll get to that in part 2.
Yes, yes. So if you can, go watch this movie, Wuthering Heights from 1939. I think the cast was fabulous. You will not be disappointed.
As always, don't let the lack of color deter you.
Yeah, black and white.
They are really good actors, and in this movie. And there's a lot of very subtle acting where someone doesn't say anything, but their facial expression just speaks volumes sometimes. Yeah. And I think that's really good. I think that really came through in a lot of moments. So do look out for that.
Yes, that's true. You did mention that about a specific one of the characters. But we are going to let you go. Yep. And we do want to thank you for continuing to come back to listen to this, to Crazies talk about movies that we love, Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on part 2.
Thank you.
Have a great week.